Do you still see Germany as a country of opportunities?
If you come to Germany to make business here and you are fast, you can win.
What nobody tells you about building business in Germany. Today I have a new episode on my YouTube channel BerlinBiz, and we are talking about the reality behind entrepreneurship, networking, trust, mistakes, and building a professional life in Germany. My guest today is Olaf Marsson, a German entrepreneur with more than 25 years of business experience. Over the years, he built companies in the event industry, networking and community projects, and today works in the financial consulting and long-term financial planning for entrepreneurs and self-employed people. In this interview, we will talk about Olaf's entrepreneurial journey, the lessons and challenges he experienced along the way, how business culture really works in Germany, and why financial stability matters for entrepreneurs. And for those who are new on my YouTube channel, my name is Hannah. I'm a creator of YouTube channel BerlinBiz, where I explore business opportunities, startup scene in Berlin and across Germany. And today we are talking about entrepreneurship in Germany. Let's get started and find out more.
Welcome to our office here in Berlin. We have a lot of offices, around about 40. And this is the office in the south of Berlin, very close to Britzer Garten. It's very green here. And this is our small entry zone. So if the customers come to us, we give them small coffee and we have a small conversation first before we going to the meeting rooms. We have three different big services. So the first one is to give them safety. That means we're talking about the insurances. The second one is to build strong money base in case of investment, for example, or private equity. And the third one is to buy property later on, because that's a very big thing in Germany. You can buy property and 10 years later you can sell it without tax. So, and yeah, the three parts we have here in Berlin. Our company exists since more than, about 40 years, and we have a lot clients, I think about 1.1 million clients in Germany. And we have about 400 different offices in the whole Germany with 4,000 employees. So I think we are very big.
My channel is called BerlinBiz. Because of that, I ask people a bit about Berlin. What do you think about the city? Do you think is it still a right place to start business, to start a startup or professional career? What is your opinion?
My opinion is that Berlin is since minimum 10 years the best startup city in the whole country. Maybe not in the whole world, but in the whole country. And you have so much possibilities, so much different places where you can meet other people who like to start with a startup. And we have a really big VC area here in Berlin. So you can meet a lot of people, you can grow, and you can start your business in very small working places, and you don't have to pay a lot of money. So that's why I think the cosmos, the universe here is perfect.
In the beginning, maybe you can tell us your story, how your journey started. Tell about your story.
Yeah, it's really a long time ago. Yeah, I started actually in 1999 with a small club restaurant in the south of Berlin. That was only to organize events. Every weekend we had a lot of, later on there was stars, in the beginning not. And but it was interesting to understand how it works, and I made a lot of mistakes there. We can talk a bit later. I had a small sponsorship with a school in the year 2000, and there came a neighbor of mine and asked me, "Oh, I like to make a prom night here in Berlin, and maybe you can sponsor the welcome drink." And I say, okay, why not? Yeah, when we can wear our outfit from the club restaurant, we will do it. And then I saw, oh my God, the prom night was really horrible. And the woman which organized the event was very sad the whole evening, and she was crying because a lot of things doesn't work correct. And then the idea came to organize all-inclusive prom night for the students when they end the school. And I built the idea 2 years in 2002. Started with the internet site to organize prom nights for German schools. And 2 years later, the first school parties was done, and many schools were very happy about this. And my brother came into the company, and then we grew really big up. And in 2006, we was the market leader of prom nights in Germany. So, and this we organized for more than 20 years. Later, I switched to sustainability at 2012. Yeah, we organized more sustainability events for bigger companies. And in 2019, I built a sustainable finance system inside a very big company, which I'm working now for as well. And yeah, that's a small part of my way.
Why did you decide to become an entrepreneur?
Yeah, that's also a very good question. I decided again to be self-employed because I knew, I felt it. There's much more energy when I was employed at any company.
So you've got much more energy being an entrepreneur than being an employee.
That's true, yeah.
Looking back today, what are the most important lessons you've learned from your journey, entrepreneurial journey?
Of course, there was a lot of pain. I think one of the biggest issue was to not to stay focused at the business and to start new side businesses. You know? Maybe in the same company, but a side business was other kind of events, for example, or to build another company. And that was not really a good idea, because when you are a market leader and you like to stay a market leader, you have to focus on one thing, not on 2 or 3 things. You have to focus on one. The second thing was, this costs really a lot of money in Germany. When you're growing with your company, you have to have insurance for rights. Like I don't know the right name, the liability insurance, the law insurance. The law insurance, because when there are other companies, or when some lawyer see your website, your Instagram or whatever, and you make a mistake there, then they comes and they like to put you down, because no other company likes, there's another one, maybe the other one is better and will growing and destroy my company. So that's why start with a good insurance in this case. We did it. I don't know why, actually, yeah, in this moment. We did it 15, 16 years, and we paid a lot of money to lawyers, to the governments.
What were the biggest events you organized in the past? Maybe famous people?
Yeah, we organized a lot of events in the past, for example, for the Fashion Week. And we also organize company events up to 3,000 people here in Germany, and for big construction companies, for example, or for property companies. And yeah, but the biggest one was not the thing. The thing was what was the biggest money which we had for organizing an event. And we had one event for a very famous company. They also liked to have a DJ star on the party and so on. So I can't tell the DJ and the company name, of course. But that was really amazing when we organized bigger events with famous people. And yeah, that was amazing. 20 years, it was really nice to have conversations.
Famous people, for example?
For example, Marusha, I don't know, do you know this person? It was a very famous DJ, or was. Also Lou Bega, for example, Mambo number 5.
There are so many events in Berlin, for example. Every week happens something like a big exhibition, a lot of events. How do you think is a nice business for today to organize events? Or there are too much organizer and it's really not a good field to earn money?
This is a good question. I ended my career as an event agent with my event company. I sorted out to my brother. The situation is now, also after Corona, is more complicated than before.
It was a very difficult time for
Yeah, first, it was a very difficult time. We had to switch many things. It was very interesting, but very difficult as well. And I know, not only from my brother, also from other side, that the people not organizing so much event like before Corona, 2 years of Corona showed the people they don't have to go to parties. They can also have fun at home, for example. So, and now we have it's not really crisis, but it's a bit difficult in the economy, in the economy world right now. And many companies don't have so much money or don't spend so much money for events. So that's why I think it's a bit more difficult right now for event agencies, and many companies do it by themselves, organize by themselves, and don't organize with an event agency.
Yeah.
And
one thing I noticed in your story that many of your businesses were built around people, connection, networking, and it's a good transition to our next topic, how business culture actually works in Germany. And as an expat, I often hear that trust is very important in Germany. Do you agree with this?
I'm absolutely agree. Yeah, it's the same thing why the people, why not all people starting their own business, they need safe. And when you like to build a business here in Germany, you need also safe. Also the people think, okay, I like to make a conversation with you. And yes, we can start a business together, but I have to trust you first. So, and when we trust people, we don't trust people when we don't know them. And when we met a people at any event or on the internet or wherever, then you're thinking about, okay, this is a good person, but I don't know, he really works good, the product, the quality is good, and so on. So that's why there's no trust and we don't give them the job, for example. But when the trust is growing up and the culture is to stay in contact a lot of time. Sometimes I met people, I don't know, 5 up to 10 times, and then they trust me to speak with me deeper about financial things or whatever.
How do people earn trust here? It's very important for us expats who came to Germany from different business culture. So I think it would be very valuable to know.
I think most of the trust is if somebody given recommendation. Yeah, it's a recommendation. Also, most of the trust is when we get some recommendation from other people. So when other people say, okay, this company is very good. If you need a financial advice or you need a event advice, please then go to Olaf or to Marco or wherever. And the other thing is
vitamin B.
Yeah, vitamin B, for example. And the other thing is, for example, when you see the person at different events, at different meetings or wherever, and then you trust also because you know, okay, this person have a standing, and or the internet account, the website is good, or you see him or her and at many places, and then the trust will growing up, for example. And something other things.
Yeah. I just mentioned that vitamin B, it's a quite common statement in Germany. It's like Beziehungen, so you need to have a connections. It's important in Germany. And
absolutely.
How do you think, how many times people need to build a trust in the B2B business in Germany?
I never counted the numbers, but I think minimum 3 up to 5 times, and maybe more. I have some clients, they know me since 10 years in the area of events, but they trusted me in the area of financial things. And I had to meet them several times And after 5, 6, 7 times when we was at the restaurant, when they came to any events or when we had some conversations, then they trust me in this case as well. Yeah, maybe it's a bit similar when you're starting a new business. So I think minimum 5 times, yeah.
5 times, yeah. And with 3 months, 4 months, 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
If you are, for example, if I build my business here, B2B business here, how many years I need to build the trust?
Yeah, it depends a bit
Especially
what
as
you
a
actually
foreigner.
do. Yeah, absolutely. When your English is very well, and it's a good basement, yeah. Because here in Berlin we have a lot of English-speaking business guys, so you can start the conversation or the startup also when you're only speaking English. But it's better if you speak German as well, of course. And how long it needs depends a bit what your network, also how fast your network is growing. And when you're going to the right events, for example, or when you met the right persons, you have to thinking about which is the perfect person for you. When you met not an influencer, but when you met a business guy who is very good in a network, then maybe it's a bit faster. I met a person from Pakistan, I think 3 months ago, a really nice person, and we met at a small, it was not really a meeting, but yeah, maybe a small meeting. And after then we was drinking a small coffee, and he told me, oh, he don't have a big network here, and I help them a bit, and I opened then some doors. That means, yeah, maybe it's good when you know a Olaf or another person.
Okay.
Although you have
Again,
to think
connection.
about which person do you like to have, what person will bring you to the networks which you need, and then it could be grow faster than the other side. Yeah, you're going to this event and this, you speak to other English-speaking people, you speak to other foreigners or whatever. Then maybe you need a bit more time, of course.
How important is to speak German to build your connections, to build your business here?
I'm not sure I can really give the perfect answer because I'm a bit conservative. I get yesterday the answer from a woman. I think not, but he told me I'm a bit conservative. And I know a lot of English-speaking people here in Berlin, which or who they like to grow in the company in the city. And I think it is important because we have a lot of successful people here, but not all of them speaking good English, especially in Brandenburg, Sachsen-Anhalt, or Mecklenburg-Vorpommern or wherever. Of course, the business guys have more or less good English, but many other people not. So if you like to start the business only with English, it's a bit more difficult.
Okay, challenging, challenging. And we started to speak about trust, how to build trust in Germany, and it brings me to the next question. So to build trust, we need time. It takes time, sometimes quite a long time. And now we live in a world of rapid changes.
Absolutely.
AI, new technologies. It means sometimes we need to make a decision very quickly, to try something new, to test something new. But at the same time, in this business culture, we need time to build trust. So what do you think about this? Do you think that traditional German approach to trust and decision making needs to change?
Yeah, you have to become a multiple thinking player. You're absolutely right. And fast decisions are actually the best decisions. When you're thinking about a long time, you don't can start your own business, you don't can grow. You have to decide very fast. Of course, sometimes you have to thinking about if it is a bigger investment or whatever, but you have to react very fast. And in case of AI or digital or automation or whatever, you have to inform about all the things what changing in the world very fast as well. Yes, and if you don't have the chance to make this you don't have the chance to be successful. That's just one of our biggest, I think, issue in Germany, that the things not going fast enough.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
So actually, we was number one in export, and now we are, I think, number 3, because we are not fast enough.
Yeah.
The changing process are very slow. So if you come to Germany to make business here and you are fast, you can win.
Yes. That brings me to another interesting topic. I often heard that in America business culture, making mistakes seen as a normal part of learning and growth. But I met some people in Germany, in Berlin, some different entrepreneurs who told me that in German business culture, people try to avoid mistakes. Have you heard? Could you agree with this?
Absolutely. I heard it often that they avoid mistakes, and I think the fail culture in Germany is a bit difficult, because when you like to grow with a business, you have to know, okay, there's a possibility to fail. And if you think you can't fail, yeah, maybe it's good. Yeah, then maybe you are strong, you have a strong mindset. But then when you fail, maybe you stay on the floor. But actually, we need a other fail culture. When we have a mindset, okay, we can fail and it's absolutely normal and we can starting again, then I think more people will starting her own business or his own business. And because it's the same like we was in child. We were starting cycling with a bicycle. So maybe we crashed 1, 2, 3 times, or when we starting to walk was the same. So nobody was thinking about, oh, maybe I will fail, I will crash, oh, then I don't try it. So make the same thing when you was a child, and then you will be successful. And yes, you can fail. Everything is okay. I fail a lot. Not every time, of course. No, it's important that you win sometimes, of course, but it's normal. You can fail, and I think when you have this culture in your mind, you know you can fail, and you can starting again. And in Germany, we have a very safe social system. If you fail, you fall into the system. You can stand up again, and you can try it again.
So you also mentioned, when we met at the event, you mentioned that you know Andriy Fedoriv. He's a famous Ukrainian entrepreneur, marketer, and investor. And Andriy has a very interesting experience building business in Germany. He tried to open his agency. His agency in Ukraine is a very successful. It's a #1 agency, marketing agency in Ukraine. A lot of famous Ukrainian brands work together with Andriy Fedoriv. And he has a YouTube channel, and he told the story how he tried to open his agency in Berlin, and it wasn't successful. And the main point was he didn't understand enough business culture here. And he told that your success in Ukraine means nothing in Germany. It was very interesting. Can you maybe share your story with Andriy?
Yeah, it was some years ago when I met them at an event, and he was showing his business, and for me it sounds really interesting. I felt I like to support him a bit, and then we met together and we organized the first big marketing event here in Berlin at the Potsdamer Platz at our event venue. Yeah, I think it was, I don't know, 7 years ago, roundabout. And it was amazing because I saw his videos from YouTube, and it was crazy for me to organize with him together the events. And at this time I was president of a Young Entrepreneurs Association here in Berlin or Germany. And I like to help them. And I can't really say what was a mistake or what went wrong, or I don't know. Maybe he was not speaking German, maybe, yeah, or the employees from him was not speaking German enough. I don't know. I remember he had really good concept. He had really good ideas, and the market feeling was very, very nice. And but I think he needed a business partner from Germany, and I was thinking about, and maybe we was talking about a bit, but it was not my real business to help other companies to growing up. But I think when he started together with another company and grow the first years together, then maybe he could be successful.
For me, it was quite valuable to know about his experience. Yeah. Despite all the challenges people talk about today in Germany, bureaucracy, slow processes, maybe economical uncertainty, do you still see Germany as a country of opportunities?
Yes, I see. Because in Europe we have a very big and strong community in business and social things and health and growing up. And I think for the next 5-10 years we have a lot of opportunities. Of course, the politicians have to change something. Yeah? We need, as self-employed people, we need a bit support from all the countries. But I see the opportunities because the value of the persons are very high, and the economy is very strong. We are export number 3 in the world, and if we are fast enough in the changing processes, then I see a very big opportunity. And if we are going the same tempo right now, then maybe it's a good opportunity. It depends a bit, but I see opportunities, of course. Yeah.
That's good. That's inspiring.
Because we have a lot of hidden champions in Germany. I know some CEOs from hidden champions, and they told me all the time, okay, they are working together with this country. So that means we have good products, we had good ideas, we have good engineers, and the best engineers came from Germany. So not the same since 10 years ago. So that's why I think we have really good opportunities.
Yeah. Okay, inspiring, because there are so many videos on YouTube where people talking like, oh, Germany is not the same as before.
Yeah.
There are so many challenges. I'm going to leave Germany because of taxes and so on. But anyway, there are so many people who came here, as I am, expats and entrepreneurs and freelancers who want to build their career, their professional way here. So it's very important to know that there are opportunities in this country.
I think you can see videos now from the negative side, because we have some negative thinking people, or they are focused on negative things. I'm an optimism person, so I'm looking forward, and I know we have some issues. Of course, which country has or have no issues? But we have also a very strong economy, so that's why I'm looking forward. And when you're thinking about Berlin, in the last 10 years came around 300,000 people to Berlin. So that means they also are thinking, okay, maybe Berlin or Germany is a good place. And the economy is growing, not fast, but it's growing, especially in this time now. We are not going down 5-10% like some other countries. So I think we are really stable, and we can grow, and we have to use the right things.
We were talking about today about many interesting things, business culture, trust, entrepreneurship in Germany. Long-term thinking is very important. It brings me to the next topic. You work today, your business today is financial consulting. Why did you choose this field? Why do you think it's important today to think about financial stability?
Oh yes, yeah. This is one of the best questions which you asked me. I was organizing events, and in 2012, one of our employees had a really good idea to make more sustainable events. Earlier the name was Green Events, and then we switched to Sustainable Events, and that was 2012. And the idea of Sustainable Events was all the time in us, because we organized events more sustainable, but without the name sustainability. Yeah. So and then we organized a lot of this kind of events, and we going deeper, or I going deeper and deeper in this topic. And in the end of the day, we had, as the first mover in Europe, the triple sustainable certification, and we worked together with Visit Berlin, and then Berlin Sustainable Certificate SMB, and we had a lot of conversations. We were at any or many associations, and the topic was really interesting for me. And this is one of the things. And the other thing is, when you paid 20 years to the governance, a lot of taxes, you're starting to think about. And you're starting especially to think about in Berlin, when you know there's an airport who eats a lot of the taxes every year, because maybe you know the story. Actually, the airport has to open it 2012, and then it was opened at 2022. So that means there was a lot of money, and I was starting to think about, okay, what can I do to spend the money not to the governance for taxes? A bit absolutely is okay, because we need schools, we need streets and so on, but not so much. No, my feeling was I paid a lot, more than 50% from my incoming was going to the governance. And then 2015, I met the general manager of tecis, and he was talking to me. He gave me advice for employees. I gave him advices for sustainability, and we was talking 3 years also about taxes and all the things what we can do. And I never heard it before, what is possible in Germany. And then in 2019, he was asking me, actually, you're very good in sustainability, and in our company we don't have a special team for sustainability and finance, so maybe you like to start. And he showed me some things, and I was really interested in, because when I was 14 or 13, every day I was looking the news about the D-Mark and dollar exchange course, and I was really interested in the stock exchange market. And 2019 came the new idea, and I was thinking, yeah, maybe it's interesting for me. And I started on the side, the business. Yeah, we came to the first question. You have to focus on it, on one thing. And then I started a side business, and also at the same time the agency business was going down. The Corona crisis came, and the financial business was growing up. So, and then I decided complete to switch the area where I like to work. And yeah, I'm really interested in to save tax for companies, to save tax for private person. That's my my stomach tell me every time, yeah, you can help people, and this in a sustainability way. So
Anyway.
it came together.
Yeah, it's a huge issue for businesses, how to pay less taxes. Absolutely. For someone who is not familiar with your work, how do you help entrepreneurs and self-employed people?
You mean in a financial way, right?
Yes.
Yeah. We help people, first of all, when they start the business, to get an overview how it could work in Germany, for example, when we work with experts together, or when we work with German business starters together. Maybe it's very close, no? It's not so far away, but they need they need other informations like experts. So, and we help them to get an overview. For example, where can I open a bank account for a business, or which insurances I really need at first, or when I get a bit of money where can I invest it? And we like to build the structure together, because when you're starting the business, you're thinking about, okay, what type of company I like to found. I like to found a personal company, or GmbH, or UG, or an AG, or whatever. And we help them, or I help them, not our company helps them. Yeah, it's my case. I help them to understand. And so we can give a big overview about all the things. And then later, when they get a lot of money, then we build, for example, holding structure. We can give them advice in holding structure, and then they can save tax, and then they can invest in properties. Then tecis comes back to the advisement. And also, of course, I give the possibility to come into our network, because since no, after 4 years as a president in a big association, I built a very big network, not only in Berlin, in the whole Germany. And if somebody comes to me and asks me, oh, I need this and this help, then sometimes, not all the time, of course, no, but sometimes I can help them. Okay, you need a producer for this, or you need a seller for online platform, or whatever, and then I can help. So they get a lot of advising, but especially in the financial area, we have to start, we have to grow, and we have to invest and save taxes.
Yeah, this is a big issue for every entrepreneurs, I'm sure. So the first you have to start your business, you have to earn stable, and then you have to think how to save your money. It's very important. If you had to share 2-3 principles of financial literacy that every entrepreneur should understand, what would they be?
I think the biggest thing is to when you're growing, of course, in the beginning, you put the money back into your company. Yeah, because when you earn a bit of money, you're thinking about, okay, I need a second person, second employee, second computer, second whatever desk, and or a new IT system. You have to invest in your company. But later, maybe 1, 2, 3 years later, it depends a bit how strong the company grow. You have to thinking about to put money on the side, because for bad times, for example, or for economy war, that means there are some other companies which will be stronger. Yeah, you have to have some money to make better marketing, for example. And so that means, yeah, put some money on the side for bad things, or for growing processes. So, and the second thing is to thinking about which structure do you like to have. Do you like to make the normal startup structure? You make the pre-seed round, the seed round, the Series A, and so on. There, then you have to thinking about a different way. So, and but this is important to think about, which way do you like to go? Do you will grow by yourself only, or you will going with a VC together, or whatever? Yeah, and you have to think about. It's only some examples.
Okay, so we are almost at the end of our interview, and thank you very much for sharing your experience today. Our conversation was really interesting for me and for our viewers, for people who are building their businesses, who are starting a startup here in Germany, or professional lives here. Thank you for your experience, and thank you for being here.
You're welcome all the time. Thank you, and I hope we see us again at any event.
Yeah, with pleasure. And for everyone watching, thank you for your attention. If you like our conversation, don't forget to subscribe my channel BerlinBiz, and put a comments, and like this video, and see you in the next episode of BerlinBiz.
Ciao. Thank you.